We're back again.
Yes, we are. Yep. How's your week?
My week's been pretty busy. I heard yours has been busy also.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
please all the
yeah,
Bigfoots up in the mountains, huh?
yeah, yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think I scared him with all the gifts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
I'd be
I
scared of
don't.
all the gifts too,
You,
really.
you know what's weird
uh,
is I put the apples and the grapes and the oranges and the seashells and the rocks and the peanut butter and stuff like that.
hmm,
The apples are gone. Two of the rocks were gone. The clear like glass rocks, an orange one and a pink one.
hmm.
But nothing else was taken. And it's like I don't know. Maybe they're just getting picky. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't know.
yeah.
So I mean I put a video out today and stuff. Talking to them. I'm just gonna I'm gonna clean everything up and I'm
Uh,
gonna reset and I'm just gonna
uh,
start over and try not to overwhelm them because I mean they're already leery of people. So
oh yeah. And Max Powers is early. He's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
first.
yeah. Max Powers, Susan Robertson, hello.
And
Ken
King's actually
King.
early.
Did you? Yeah. Did you read what Ken said?
Oh my
It
gosh.
wasn't the gifts. I think you need to wash your feet.
uh,
I mean, hey,
well,
Ken. I'm just trying to smell like them, so it's something familiar. That's
yeah.
all. So,
uh,
there you go. Well, we do have a guest for tonight, Sasquatch Omega. He's working on getting to a spot with some good reception right now, so he might be a few minutes. So,
Hi, Rachel.
hello, Rachel. How are you? So, yeah. Oh, hey, look, there
And
I
there's
am. Hey,
there's two of you.
yeah. My doppel. It's my better half. That's my wife.
I doubled up.
So,
Oh
hello,
yeah,
wife.
she said she's going to send a peach pie to everybody.
Oh no. Well, you
Oh,
better send her a peach tree. That could get rather expensive.
that would be it. No, she
Yeah.
made one and it looked really good.
Oh yeah, she's an excellent cook. So
I don't know how you can mail that one to me. I don't know how.
um
Would it be upside down peach pie?
well, I don't know. We'd have to put it in a one of those foam ice chests with dry ice in it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean that's how they
Yeah.
ship, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You
You
know, and
imagine
it
a
just
dry ice got into the pie.
we would
I ate
have
it.
to mark every side of it says this end up.
Yeah, yeah. Please.
You know what I mean?
Then they'll be like,
Fragile, this end up. Yeah, I know. I know.
well, it'll land
Yeah.
upward.
Oh. Is this Lily Gypsy Child's new channel down here?
Says Lily's. And it
Yeah.
says Lily's
Journey
land.
via Lily's lens.
So I bet you it is her.
Hello, Lily. How are you?
She takes a lot of pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
that's
pictures.
right.
Her pictures, you can use the virtual goggles and it looks like you're really there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks pretty
It's
cool.
really good, huh?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. So
Let's
I hope
see.
everybody's had a good week and a good weekend and staying safe and out of the riots and the fires and all that stuff that's been going on. So
Man.
I'm assuming that they are doing all well because they're all here in the chat. So guess I kind of answered my own question now, didn't I? So yeah, Sasquatch Omega coming up. Hopefully, he'll get some release with some good reception.
Yep.
He has been out with some very interesting people, some very well known people, and I think he's got some good stories to tell. I know I've talked to him on the phone, and a lot of stuff is that I said and he said are very consistent. with each other, like where we find them and stuff like that, like the geography and stuff like that. It was really, really interesting. So, and hopefully we can get some. I can get some work under my belt, get some money, and I'm gonna go hook up with him and go out squatching with him for a weekend in his area. So, yeah. Hello, Matt. Glad to see you, mate. Chris, how are you doing?
He just stopped watching all the riot videos to be with us here today.
Yeah. Squatchaholic, glad you're here. We appreciate you and everything you do for the podcast.
Yeah, so, great work.
Yeah.
Oh man, my foot's all candy.
Yeah. So it's been rather interesting. So been an interesting journey so far, but and I'm sure it's been a wild ride, and I'm sure it's probably going to get even wilder in the future. So we'll see what happens.
What kind of bird is that, Matt? You are a bird man. Let's see if he knows. He can name off all the birds in his area. Like I never heard of some of the birds that he's talked about. I have no idea. I've never seen them.
Oh yeah, they're probably only found in Australia.
Yeah.
So
but I think he studies all the animals. I think over there.
You've seen Matt's channel, haven't you? Me? Like his walkabouts and stuff like that. Yeah. Some of those places he gets into, just I picture a freaking dinosaur come walking through and a freaking caveman chasing it with a club. You know what I mean? They're just
dogs chase him or come after him.
Matt.
Yeah.
Again, he's right. It's a canary.
Yeah.
That is that's my neighbor's canary, and they leave it out on their patio, and
that's funny.
So, yep, Matt's the bird man.
Yep.
So, yep, he gets into some wild areas, man, that are just.
I wouldn't go out there in that area.
Incredible.
I'd be scared to be out there.
Nah.
You can't touch anything out there on the trees or nothing. You don't know what's out there.
Yeah. Squatchaholic says pterodactyls.
That's what I would say.
Hey, you know what? Matt's going to be out there on a frickin' walkabout one day, and he's going to hear he's going to be like, well, I haven't heard that noise before. Next thing you know, he's going to have two big claws on his shoulders flying off, and he's going to pan the camera up. There's going to be a pterodactyl flying him off to the bird nest. He'd be like, that's why I haven't heard that one before. Oh, very cool. So, Ken and Rachel put out a bunch of espresso coffee for Junior.
Yeah, you should have went to Starbucks to get the beans.
You know, a lot of Starbucks are closed unless they have a drive-through.
You can buy the bags to the drive-through. And they're all foil bags. They're whole beans, but they might be expensive. I understand that. They are expensive. But that's the whole bean, though.
Yeah. And
I don't know where else they sell either. I don't know.
I cannot picture Junior. He's going to be bouncing off the trees. You know what I mean? He's going to look like a gibbon going bing, 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 all over the trees. You know what I mean?
Well, from the outside of their house, it already looks that way, like he organized the whole forest anyway, right outside of his house.
Right, yeah, rearranged everything. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of looking at it like this, and just made it.
Switching.
Oh, yeah. So. But he's been going through all that audio from the audio recorder you sent him, and there's some pretty impressive audio.
Oh, I bet.
You know,
yeah, they're so used to them now. You know,
yeah. They're wood knocking back and forth and grunting and groaning and it's crazy.
I'm telling you, audio is always the way to go. Because there's nothing to show them that it's working. You know what I mean? And I think it might even be silent. There's nothing turning in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's silent. There's no light illuminating. There's no infrared, green, blue, purple, nothing.
Right.
So you get the best of it.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that espresso they put out there.
Yeah, it would be.
You know what I mean? So
hopefully all the birds don't get them. Birds be pooping everywhere, tweaking. Oh my gosh. Whew.
They're not intimidated by it. Yeah.
No, they're not.
The only thing they really don't like are the dang cameras. At least the game cams.
They don't like the cameras, no.
You
can probably run a day camera, like just no infrared, no night vision, nothing. You can probably run that during the daytime, and just leave it out somewhere and bury the box that makes noise and just have and camera facing out.
Right.
You could probably get something that way during the day because there's
nothing. Make a foam rock.
You can do that. They sell fake rocks at the Home Depot.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're plastic.
Ken's a master with his hands. He's always making stuff. So I mean, it wouldn't be hard for him to go get some expanding foam.
Nope.
Make a big pile of it, let it dry, hollow it out, and paint the thing. You know what I mean? So
or just get a stump from out there and then hollow it.
Yeah. Right. Little pen cam or something. Little pencil cam or something.
Roll all the way through and put the camera on the other side. Maybe.
Yeah. Rachel's over here says they have every tree and rock memorized. I bet they do. I bet they have right down to every leaf too.
Oh yeah.
Leaf and twig and everything. Yeah. I mean, they know where everything is. So
I've watched a lot of videos where these guys put the camera out and it's camouflage camera, camouflage stand, everything. And they leave it out in the woods. And then you hear walking in the background. You hear them grunting, talking, everything, and throwing rocks at the camera. And they're way far away. Yeah. They see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how do you see it? It sounds so far away. And you know to be behind the camera all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, every electronic device has a very, very low pitch tone to it, no matter what it is, whether it's a cell phone, wristwatch, whatever. It has we can't hear it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obvious that they can.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, they know exactly where to throw them rocks. You know what I mean? So, and also they're probably watching you put it out there.
Yeah. Because they could sit hours quietly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, as soon as you pull up to an area you want to go walking around in, they've got one watching you. I mean, you're making noise, you're getting stuff out of your trunk or out of your car, you're slamming the trunk, you're slamming the door, the engine noise, turning the engine off. I mean, they know before you even set foot into the woods or wherever you're going, they know. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they just follow you. Watch what you do. So.
I don't know. Did Chris Noel bury his cameras and recorders?
I think he tried the wood stump.
I never
hollowing out a wood stump and drilling a little hole, and didn't work.
I know that. What's his name? If I point hard enough, I might remember. The guy Survivor Man Bigfoot, he buried all his equipment too because people were like, well, put recorders out and blah 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 and put cameras and this and that, and so he buried all his equipment but left only the cameras out, and he didn't get anything either.
Right. Yeah.
They know
like they're probably watching.
That's
what I mean?
Just Matt just said it.
Yeah, Les Stroud, Survivor Man. So, Mike Kirkpatrick, glad you can make it. Glad to see you.
I didn't know he got one.
Yeah, yeah, Christopher Noel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of audio from right back behind his house. I don't know about like video footage or anything,
Mm.
but he does definitely get a lot of audio and stuff like that. And he's become quite a master at deciphering the audio, just as you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What they're doing. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
you hear him running back and forth and stuff like that, and
Right.
he's got it down to where he can tell if it's a little one or a big one. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was telling him before when I was texting him that he tried to say what my videos sound like. And I was like, no. In your area, that might be the case, but my area,
yeah,
that's not the case.
you're right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, and even between your area and my area, it's completely different.
Totally different. Like
Completely different.
you don't
Right,
have the same terrain I have.
right,
And
exactly.
in his area, they have these beetle bugs that go into the trees. I don't have those here.
Right.
I mean, they're here in California, but they're not where I'm at.
The pine beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bama Bigfoot. Glad you can make it. So, yeah, I mean, from my area, your area, to my area, to Brown Dwarf's area up in Humboldt, it is a very different,
Yeah. Yep.
terrain. And,
Yeah.
You have different plant species, you have different animal species. It's completely different. So
Yeah.
they adjust to what they have at their disposal.
That's
You know what I mean?
too. And
So,
then, like, I can't talk about your area and say, nope, that ain't it, because
right.
I don't know. I really
And I
don't
can't
know.
talk about, I don't know about your area. So,
Yeah. Like, and that trips me out when people tell me what I'm hearing. I'm like, no,
yeah,
come to my house, come to where I'm at, and you tell me when you're right here standing here.
right,
It's
right.
different. So it's like, it's kind of weird, but
I mean, it's all of them are different depending on where they are, geography.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I
what I think
mean?
too.
I mean, Kent is a lot different than someone in Tennessee, or, different than parkways in North Carolina.
Yeah,
I
parkways
mean,
are a lot of still stick structures. I've been watching parkways, and
right.
a recent one he had.
Yeah, that big X.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a big X, and those were not small,
No.
small pieces of lumber, man. Those were big chunks of lumber.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
trying to get him to carry a measuring tape out there with him,
dude.
so he could measure, how big and
Oh,
possibly how long they are, so we can get a better perspective of it and stuff like
imagine
that.
how 1,000-foot freaking tape measure. Oink, oink, oink. Oh,
Well, I mean, I carry a tape measure with me. I think mine's only 12 foot, or
really?
maybe 14 foot or something like that. Not a big one, but
Yeah.
it's enough to measure footprints. It's enough to measure,
Yeah.
okay, that branch was broken off at this height. You know what I mean? So,
That's true.
I mean, and it's small. It's only a couple inches, by like 3/4 inches thick.
Oh, okay.
Clip it on the strap of my backpack. I don't even notice it. So, it's not some big old honking freaking construction tape, that's 2 inches thick and weighs 1.5 pounds. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
maybe
like a shark spear, and shoot the rope all the way over.
yeah, one of the big old surveyor tape, 100-footers, you gotta roll it up like a fishing line, So,
Pappy Two Bears, he made it.
yeah, glad to have you here, Pappy. So, yeah, hopefully Sasquatch Omega will find some reception here soon.
Yeah, he probably lives in the same area that my sister used to live up by Valley Center. Yet everybody had a spot where you go to get signal, and if there's somebody there, you had to go find the next spot.
Right,
and that's probably what situation he's in right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think so because I could text him, and sometimes he won't even return my text for a couple days. He's, oh, sorry, where I'm at, I don't get the signal, and then all of a sudden I'll get into a place that has signal, and I'll get like 50, emails and like 35 texts, and everything comes in at once, and it's just overwhelming. So,
Yep.
I completely understand,
Oh yeah.
so, but hopefully he'll find that signal. He needs to just go find one of them 5G towers and stand under it.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't stand under a 5G one. Maybe a 4G.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm gonna die in 10 minutes, so let me hurry up and just tell you something.
And what's funny and stuff is they try and disguise them as like local flora and fauna of the area, and it's like, you ain't fooling nobody.
The pine tree.
I'm sorry. When was the last time you saw a pine tree hum like a freaking angry hive of freaking hornets? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, they have one right in the middle, right by 7-Eleven. They put a little iron gate around it, and I'm like, what's special about this tree? When you look up, it's like all this cell tower crap in it.
Yeah, and they add all these branches and stuff to make it look like a tree. It's like, dude, you ain't fooling nobody.
Yeah, because people complain about them, and now they're at the schools. At schools, right? Come over at the light. It's like, dude, our kids
right next to the playgrounds and stuff like that, and I think there's already been a few schools where kids have been coming down with like mass cases of cancer and stuff like that.
And it's from
the schools are fighting to get them taken down or moved or something like that. I mean, they never had the issue before until this tower was put up, and all of a sudden all these kids are coming down with cancer and having migraines and health issues, and it's like, dude, come on. And the government will tell you all day long, oh no, it's totally safe for human and stuff like that, and it's like,
nope,
safe for human to pass by,
right? Not live
for prolonged exposure. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. You get kids there and stuff that are there for 6-7 hours a day, and it's prolonged exposure.
Yeah, it is.
And
they do it 5 days a week.
Yeah, 5 days a week. You know what I mean? And then they're probably having freaking baseball or soccer games and stuff, or little leagues, or at those fields and stuff during the weekends, and not good. You know what I mean?
Yep, not good at all.
Something I heard. I forget where I heard it, but I think someone who worked on the 5G project said that 5G is one step below a weapon.
Right. Yeah, it'll kill you.
Yeah, it's one step below a weapon. So.
Yeah, and they're talking about going to 5G, and man.
Yeah.
No, not good.
Yeah.
Time to move out of town. And they're taking away people's permits in Alaska, because you can only live out there, I guess, on your permits, I guess now. But
really?
Like the dad, like the people that are out there now have kids. Once their kids' permits are up, they won't let you stay out there anymore. So they're taking all that away. Plus, they're taking seeds out of everything that you eat, so you can't replant nothing. So they're taking control, taking the guns, so you can't fight back. And then it's all control. It's all control. The military is all about control, advancement, and control. That's what they want.
Yeah. And it's well, it's working. It's working for some places.
Yeah.
But I think some places are going to give them the old finger and say, "Come get it."
All right. Looks like I already made it.
Cool.
Here we go.
So, buddy, let's welcome.
I'm so sorry. I'm out trying to catch up from the coronavirus. Everybody being stuck inside, and I was out meeting customers, and the spot I was at, horrible reception. But I'm here now. I found some good reception, hopefully.
We understand you're coming in clear, and
good.
So everybody, let's welcome Sasquatch Omega.
How's it going, everybody?
So, what got you into this topic? Did you have an experience? Was it just curiosity?
I think at first it was curiosity. I remember when I was a little kid, I've heard so many people say this, but there was this old show on this old movie from the 70s, and I saw it on TV, and my grandma let me watch it, which she shouldn't have because it gave me nightmares forever. But Legend of Boggy Creek.
Oh yeah.
So that was the initial kind of like fascination with it. I was fascinated because it was terrifying. And then when I was, about 10 years old, we were learning about libraries and the Dewey Decimal System in school. And so we had to go check out books. And for some reason, I kind of gravitated towards that. So I was looking for books about Bigfoot. I found a bunch of them. There were a couple of them that seemed like they were serious. The other ones to me seemed like they were kind of joking around with it, talking about it as a mythological thing. But I saw that there were a couple that weren't. And so I checked those two books out. I was thoroughly fascinated by them. In fact, I ended up writing a letter to each one of the authors of that book. And for the life of me, I cannot remember who it was. And when I was a kid, we had a couple fires in our house, and I lost a lot of stuff. And among those things were 2 letters that I got back from the authors that I wrote to. If memory serves me right, they were both handwritten and, more than a couple pages long, each one of them. I wish I had those, because right now I would be fascinated to know who that was, or who they were. But I thought maybe I could reach back out to the library I checked out those books from, and maybe they would have some sort of record where I could track it down, and at least have an idea who wrote them to me, who wrote me back, who those authors were. One of them, I remember it was sort of official because they had some sort of organization, which, I was totally fascinated by, but they had mentioned the letterhead actually had that organization on it. I don't know if it was BFRO or what it was, but I remember with this one letter in particular, they were up in Washington, somewhere in Washington. So
sounds like the Olympic project.
Yeah. But that was kind of the initial interest. And then that's, I kind of dropped it after that. It was, nothing, I guess along the way, everyone has seen the Patterson-Gimlin film, flash in different shows. And I came across that a few times, and I just always remember being really interested in it. Then what happened? I was unemployed for a year and looking for jobs, and it was tedious. But during that time, trying to entertain myself and pass the time, I remember kind of diving into looking for information about this subject. And, after a couple months, I started to think that, there might be something to this, because the information that I was gathering, it was compelling, to say the least. But I think I got to a point where I thought that there might be something to this. And then I started I wanted to find out. So what I did, like straight away, is I started finding out who was putting out the information on these things. And I started reaching out to those people directly. And so I at that time I had no idea who the bigger names in the subject were, but I would just reach out to whoever's information I came across. One of them was MK Davis, who I talk to him still, all the time. He's a great guy, really great, but he was very gracious. Let's see, who did I reach out to? Also, you guys remember Utah Sasquatch when he was on? Around that time, he was sort of, my impression was he was making a lot of waves because of not just the information he was presenting, but the way it was being presented. It was different than anything I had seen before. There wasn't, it wasn't this, no offense to anybody out there, but it wasn't this, older man, talking scientific about it, or, presenting it not in a very interesting way, not in a different way than anything I'd ever seen before. But it was somebody that was young, someone that was my age, and they were talking about it, in a way that was compelling, to say the least. So I reached out to him, and we ended up having a connection. And he at that time had a business, a solar company, and I was looking for work. And I was a banker for a few years. I was in sales and finance, and we ended up talking about the possibility of me, going to work with him at his company. So that's what ended up happening. I ended up packing up literally everything I had, and I moved out to Utah. And he had an extra room, so I went to live with him, and try and do this job. And I guess fringe benefit would be I get to look for Sasquatch too, and we wasted no time. I think I wasn't there more than a day or two before we started going out. And we at that time, at least the first few weeks, we were out, I would say six days a week. I should point out most of them were nighttime excursions, which was
the best time to
insane.
go. Yeah, it's the best time to do it.
So that was it. So my first
very unnerving out there at night.
Man, I can't even put it into words. I think it was less than a week that I had my first actual encounter. And even at this point, you know, I'm going out there and I'm going to look for these things, you know, compelled by the information, feeling like kind of, you know, pretty secure that these things are real. But when I had that first encounter, it was another step higher than I could have ever imagined towards the reality, the realization that these things are damn real. These things are as real as the milk I put in my cereal this morning. That is what got me. Not to mention my introduction to it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. So much so that, I mean, I filmed the whole thing. Of course, I would figure this out later that when you're filming, you cannot seem to capture the sights and the sounds as they are there when you're seeing it happening, when it's happening live. But I was so terrified when I looked back on that video just a day later. I was like, wow, I didn't even recognize myself, the way I was behaving, the way I was talking. But
I don't know why that makes me happy to hear when you say that. You're
really?
terrified because you know it's happening. You know, that's how you know something's there.
Well, here's the thing that I think I don't care how long you've been looking at this. I think people want, you know, they want to come off as the professional. I've been looking at this for 20 years and I've been out in the field and blah, blah, blah. And that, no, I'm not. I keep calm and it's fine and blah, blah, blah. Liar. You're lying. You're scared. You know you are. And I think honestly, you'd be an idiot if you weren't. The fact of the matter is these things, whether they're docile or some are violent or whatever, the fact of the matter is that a teenage female of this species can rip your leg off, literally, and stuff it down
beat you with it.
There's not a damn thing you can do about it. That's scary.
You're not going to outrun it.
Have it at night.
You're not going to beat it up. And I mean, if it wants to get a hold of you, it will get a hold of you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't, like you said, you know, I don't care if you've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. When you're out there and you know that there is one in the vicinity, your heart starts beating a little harder, no matter what. No matter what. So
it's a terrifying thing. So that, I mean, that was it. So that grabbed me. I think within a day or two of that, I had reached out to, like I said, MK Davis before that. But it was, you know, and there was a couple responses, I believe. But after that, I sent him, because I couldn't see anything in the video. One of the most compelling things and what kicked off this encounter was coming across, we were positively tracking one, and it was just incredible. And we got to this point where we came up on this thicket, and in the video, you hear us both go, whoa, whoa. And we just like, dude, this is what I'm saying. Dude, bro. And he's just like, oh my God. What we came across is this igloo, this perfectly shaped wood igloo made of logs the size you'd put in your fireplace. And it was incredible. And it was perfectly round. It was very, very large. It was down in the ravine, in the thicket, about 10 or probably 15 feet below us. And then there was a separate section that looked like a rectangle coming off of it. There was an entrance. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. But in the video, you couldn't really see this thing. And so I think a couple of days later, I reached out to MK Davis, told him about this experience. He's like, send me the video. And I think within 30 minutes, he had sent me a few screenshots that he had brightened it up. And
he's good at that.
It's incredible. I can't believe it. I still don't know how to do it.
And he does audio too. Really good.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I mean, I reached out for help on audio because I've caught some incredible audio, but it wasn't captured the way I heard it. Not even close. So I released a series of 3 videos with an encounter that had tons of vocalization in it of all shapes and sorts. Knocks, whoops, yells. One of these things that in hindsight was trying to get our attention to move in that direction. did some kind of Indian war cry. But on the video, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like a whoop, 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 something like that. But I tried the best I can to enhance it. I actually got some help afterwards with a guy that I owe an apology to, and I actually owe him a plug. The next video I put out, I'll dig up his info and show everybody, but he does audio professionally. He cleaned it up the best he could. It still doesn't sound anything like what I heard, but he did, one of the best jobs with it. But MK Davis sent me back, like I was saying, in 30 minutes, like three screenshots that showed 2 of them of the structure, and then one of them, what he saw a figure. He saw one of the Sasquatch. It wasn't to me blatantly obvious that it was there, but in hindsight, I'm like, oh yeah, that does look like one, laying down on the hill. I mentioned it was down in a ravine, and he was laying on the hill. It was up like this. I can't find those anywhere. I know there's somewhere, and I'll get my hands on them and show them at some point. But man, so that was it. So I was hooked after that. I when I was going out with Rio, he wanted me to help him film and stuff like that, and that's what I started doing. And I think, very shortly after, he's like, you should start a channel. And so that's where I came up with Sasquatch Omega, and that's where the channel came from. And I just started posting the stuff that we were filming out there and the experiences. And man, I can't tell you how many experiences that I actually lost that I don't have from out there. But it was shocking is an understatement. But it was like 2 months of absolute shock and awe. Incredible. I told everybody that's close to me in this world, not one of them, a couple of them were nice about it. I think they say they believe me, but not one person believes me. It's like, listen, don't believe me. I don't give a shit. Let's go hiking. Let's go hiking.
Yeah. Just come with me.
Let's get out there. I'll show you.
You can't convince somebody that a cartoon character, which is what Bigfoot is, it's real. It doesn't matter how well they know you. And by the way, I don't use the word Bigfoot anymore. I will not say the word Bigfoot because Bigfoot is a cartoon character. And so I'll only say Sasquatch. And recently a lot of us have been aware the government started releasing these UFO videos, right? But they don't call them UFOs. They call them unidentified aerial phenomenon. And the reason they did that is because there's too much baggage attached to UFO. Well, it's the same thing with Bigfoot. There's too much baggage attached to Bigfoot. Yeah. So Sasquatch or, Yahweh or whatever people want to say, it's better than Bigfoot. So I kind of advocate for that. But
who's the
that's it.
Who's the guy that did your audio? You can, if you want to tell his
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Okay. I do have it, and like I said, I owe him an apology and a plug. Yeah. But he's an English guy, British guy. He lived in Greece doing business, and he's, when I started releasing videos and stuff, I started getting a massive influx of emails, people wanting to contact me to talk about their experiences, because there's no out there, there's more so now, but 3 years ago there was not an outlet for people to get this stuff off their chests, and they know no one's going to believe them, so they're holding this stuff in. And I'm telling you, it hurts. It's hard.
It does.
So I mean, I ended up doing I think not more than 3 or 4 months after my first encounter there, I ended up being a guest on Sasquatch Chronicles. And I think a couple of people close to me thought I was doing it, to be on Sasquatch Chronicles. But the thing is that nobody knows is I didn't know that show existed. I didn't know what Sasquatch Chronicles was. All I knew was there was a guy. He had a podcast. It was about Sasquatch. And as I listened to a couple of the shows, people get to talk about their stuff, and I had to talk about it. So it was pure therapy for me.
Yeah, that's why we started this too. It's the same reason, because they have a lot of places that you can go for a sighting, but they have nothing to show that you had evidence or or just a structure or a footprint, and that's what we're about, to just give some relief,
Right. And that's important too.
Yeah.
I think those of us who are putting ourselves out there by having a platform, like you guys, like me, like, anybody you can think of, you see on YouTube or online, I think all of them will give the same testimony. And that is they get, to varying degrees, an influx of emails and people trying to contact me to talk to me about their experiences. They want to be heard. They want someone to believe them. And in, a lot of instances, there's a lot of people that have reached out to me that are desperate for help. They really want help because they're being tormented. And that leads me to something, you know, maybe I'll get into this, maybe I won't, but there's something that I've learned. And a few people tried to tell me about this when I first got into it. As I'm reaching out to people, one of them I'll bring up is Ryan Reading, from Western New York, Bigfoot. He still does his YouTube channel. I think just not as much as he did before. But he was trying to tell me, he's like, Omega, this is, there's more to it than this. And, you know, he kind of laid it out, and I didn't disbelieve him. You know, I know what it feels like to talk about the stuff and have people blow you off. So I'm careful not to do that. But I was like, I got to get there myself. So I'm there now. You know, that was a couple of years ago, but I'll say this, there's another component to this. That some people are starting to talk about, that, but the general State of the Union of Sasquatch don't talk about it. But there's another component to this. There's something else or other things in addition to Sasquatch out there with Sasquatch, and they go hand in hand. I don't necessarily think that this other stuff is the Sasquatch. It's something that rolls with Sasquatch, something that goes with Sasquatch. Everyone knows Colorado Bigfoot, I would imagine. He told me, so I knew him, you know, back in the day as well, even before Rio, or maybe about the same time as Rio. And he was telling me, dude, there's something else out here with these Sasquatch. And he'd send me pictures. This before he started releasing it. He's like, I don't even know what to tell people. But there's something, I don't know what it is. There's other entities you see physically out there that are not big, hairy looking, Bigfoot looking things, hairless. Some of them look like aliens. Some of them, they look like, I mean, use your freaking imagination. But there's something else that's paranormal with this. People used to call it the woo. They still call it the woo.
Right.
But there's a reason that people are saying this. I mean, do you people really think that there's just, you know, a 40% of the people involved in this are just like flat out nuts? Listen, there's a lot of crazy people involved with this, but these people that are talking about the woo, there's a reason for it, and people are seeing stuff and they are experiencing stuff.
Yep.
And I'll point you to one person, Jeff Friend. Okay, I was involved with trying to help him out for some things, but something followed him home. There's some other people that came out recently, the Trail to Bigfoot, and they're out in Florida, central or northern Florida.
Oh yeah, that guy. He
They
quit.
something follow him home. It's normal, real.
Yeah, he quit. He quit the
Yeah,
team.
he quit. He went out there by himself one day, and
he got led away from the group, and he went down there, and he came back, and he quit. He was done.
Yep, he's like, I'm done. I'm out. Yeah, and they haven't said what happened yet, but I mean, I've talked to you on the phone, and I've had something come home with me from a particular area I went to, and odd things happened. You know,
there's probably stuff. It's the thing. I'm not going to say I know how to get rid of it, but I have some experience on some things to try. But just for the audience, here's the component. Here is a core component of what follows you home. Okay, just for the simplest explanation. Everyone's heard of shadow people? Shadow people. They follow you home. People are seeing them in the house. I watched it happen. I've experienced it. Jeff Friend, he's caught on video multiple times, like unbelievable paranormal stuff. Excuse my language. It's real. I don't know what to say about it. You know, Sasquatch is crazy enough, right? But you start throwing this other stuff in there, it's like it's overload. So, you know, for the audience, one step at a time, but just understand what you're getting into, number one. And for those of you that go out there seeking these things out, you're seeking out more than Sasquatch, whether you want to or not. So just be careful. I mean, anyone that knows me knows I haven't posted a video in a while. And there's two really good reasons for that. I'm not saying I'm not going to post video anymore, but there's some experiences in it, you know, in addition to what I just mentioned, that I don't want to go out solo anymore. I'm just not going to do it. It's too risky. You know, I could do it 1,000 times and be fine. I can do it one more time and not be fine. I don't want that. So that's one reason. The other reason is I just got a bad taste in my mouth from YouTube, because they are literally, people need to understand this. They're literally censoring us. And here's what's happening. As a matter of fact, anybody that has subscribed me in the past or has hit notifications for my videos in the past, go back and see if you're still subscribed to my channel. And I'm gonna bet half of you are not. And you're gonna be like, I didn't unsubscribe. YouTube unsubscribed you.
Yep.
YouTube unchecked notices, the notifications. YouTube is doing that. So the word, I don't know if it's at the direct, I'm assuming it's at the direction of somebody. I don't know this for sure. All I can say that's factual is that channels like ours, they are trying to be shut up.
Yeah, I'm
So
constantly
they're being
resubscribing.
shut down. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I caught a screenshot. Who's somebody else that I talked to? I have a ton of respect for, but Mark and Melanie Zaski. They're in Dade County, Florida, of all places, and they really have done a great job of capturing the fact that there's Sasquatch there. The kind of effort they put out, it's more akin to the way a professional researcher would do it. That's why I say that, you know, there's researchers and there's investigators. I investigate, you know, generally from what I know, you guys, you investigate. Research is a very specific thing. It's a very, you know, I would say kind of a boring, tedious way of going about it, right? They're cataloging temperatures, wind velocity and direction, you know, repeatable things. They're documenting stuff to show scientifically that these things are there in addition to the video and audio. But the hell was I talking about? Oh my gosh.
YouTube censorship.
Yeah, and the people in Florida,
yes.
they have some pretty good stuff.
Yes. So Mark, I was talking to Mark about this, and he told me, yeah, I'm experiencing the exact same thing, man. He's like, I don't have any idea how many subscribers I have. So I think at the time it was showing he had like, I don't know, 8,000 or 9,000 subscribers. And he's like, the amount of work I do, I don't believe it. Well, I was watching his channel and keeping an eye on it, and I caught his channel showing that there was something like 400 something thousand subscribers. And it was showing just as I wasn't logged in as Sasquatch Omega. I just did it as a regular person that didn't subscribe. And I caught a screenshot of it. And I showed him, and he was shocked, but not shocked. Well, I caught the same thing on my channel. I went in, not as Sasquatch Omega, just as somebody just cruising around, looked up Sasquatch Omega, and it showed, I don't have my subscriber count showing anymore just because of the fluctuation. I don't know what the hell was going on. It was weird. But I saw my subscriber count at 317,000 subscribers. I got a screenshot of it. Those are the only two accounts that I've caught. But why would that happen? And I've seen, you know, just looking at my account, I've seen my account go in one day, drop 2,500 subscribers, and the next day jump up 3,500 subscribers. So I've seen this happen. I guarantee it's happening with anybody's account, your guys' account that's on there. But they're trying to pull the plug on this stuff because we're showing stuff that's real. That's it. It's a fact. It's a fact. You know,
Yeah, I think
idiots out there. You know what I mean? Some of us you know, we come from all shapes and sizes, right? All backgrounds and stuff like that. I went to college. I'm not an idiot. That doesn't make me anything, but I'm just saying, like, my background is different than, you know, than the next guy or the next girl. And there's people from all parts of society, from all education levels and all levels of sanity. And that's just a fact. So, you know, it's happening to all of us. We're all finding the same stuff. We're all showing the same stuff. And I don't think they like it. I'm sorry, just like keep blah, 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 blah. There's one other thing I want to say that I think it's very concerning, and we need to pay attention to this. It raises some ethical questions and some concern. And that is, once I started realizing that after I would go to a place and then I'd go back there, and the area that I found, the wallow area that I discovered, all of a sudden had ribbons wrapped around the trees only in the wallow and around the wallow after I'd gone there when it wasn't there before. Right. Then I saw this on another person's channel, then another person's channel. And I realized, and the helicopters, have you ever had that happen? I'm in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden there's a helicopter that's very interested right where I am. Why is that? You know, I've been on the phone with Mark to where I know our phone was being tapped because we were being messed with. You hear it clicking and stuff, and we started talking to whoever was listening to us, making a joke. If you're there, go ahead and hang up on us. You know, make us hang up. They would literally disconnect us and shut our phones off. So it's happening. But I think what we're doing, and the point of this is we're taking whoever the hell is interested in what we're doing and monitoring what they're doing, and what I don't know what they're doing, but we're taking them to the Sasquatch locations, and we are showing them where these things are, and we're showing them how to find them. We are. So be careful of that. Turn your phones off when you guys go out. You know, be very careful of that. Be very cognizant of that. You know, whether they make themselves known or not, I guarantee you, every single one of you that has a channel, that has a platform, has been looked at or watched, or is being looked at and watched. Period. Guaranteed.
Yeah. I definitely think that they're watching YouTube channels to get these locations for sure.
Yeah.
And there's proof of it on Jeff Friend's channel. He documented this.
Yep.
Right after, I know it was like a year ago or something, he found those 3-toed tracks in the snow, and he followed them. And then he went back up there the next weekend, and that entire cave that he's been going into with his buddy Fred, blocked up. I mean, not just like metal bars or anything. It was metal sheet, you know, like a wall with concrete.
They brought a legit crew up there.
Yeah, they brought a legit crew up there, and then the hole where that guy Mike went down, climbed down into, and all of a sudden there's cameras looking at cameras and cameras looking at cameras.
Like 20, 30 at something of them, right there.
Yeah, like 20 some odd cameras, and that's something the government does. Now they're all in big old lock boxes too, and they're 20 feet up in these trees. Now you need a ladder to go do that. Who's going to take an extension ladder up there to go put all these cameras up other than a government agency?
Not to mention 20, 30 cameras, even if you're buying cheap ones. That's not inexpensive. There's nobody that's going to do that. That doesn't have a budget. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I mean, it's very clear. I really wish all of us can get on the same page. There's still so much division within this community. And I use the word community lightly, but I really wish, I guess I envision a central location where the things I find, I can sort of document and deposit for others to come along, look at it, and then build upon that. And me being able to come along, and it's kind of like 50 people putting together, a 100,000 piece puzzle, right? We're all finding pieces of the puzzle, but putting it together has been the difficult part. And I think we would really get so much further, so much faster if we got on the same page. But there's this incredible amount of arrogance attached to this. And everybody wants to be, even the females, everybody wants to be the man. And it's just, this is to them. You don't get to say whether you're the man or not. History will, the public will. What right or wrong, you don't have any control over it. Right. Just, you're interested in this, you're out there, finding stuff and documenting it and presenting it. Do that. Do your part and be happy with that. Yeah. And, that's all anybody could do. But we need to get on the same page, man. We're never going to get anywhere with this, and especially with all the weird shit attached to it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Pick a category, man, and just stick with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. I mean, there's we're definitely being shadow banned. That's for sure. I think Mark from Colorado Bigfoot did a community post on his channel not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, saying that he had it on good authority from the CEO or something of YouTube, saying that they have been ordered by the government to go through channels with UFOs and Bigfoot and all this paranormal stuff and literally delete the channel, the entire channel. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hasn't happened to me yet. Hasn't happened to him yet, but I don't know. I mean,
a lot of money stolen.
Yeah,
I got a lot of money stolen.
Yeah.
I remember my first, I wasn't doing this at all for money, because there's no money in Bigfoot. You don't make even someone that's, whatever channel on Sasquatch is getting the most views and most hits out on there, they're not making much money at all. Not enough to dedicate themselves to it. But I remember the first time I realized that, I was making some money and it was adding up, and I was looking at the numbers, and it was like, $1,000 or whatever. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go get my $1,000. And I remember there was a little bit of time from when I saw that to when I was going to try and get a deposit. So I went to go get it, and it wasn't there anymore. I was like, wait a second. So I started calling YouTube. You can't call YouTube. So I started reaching out online to get responses back, and nobody could tell me. They're like, well, it's not there. The numbers aren't. Listen, I saw it there. Okay. I even took a screenshot of the AdSense account we all have to have. Nobody can give me a record. Nobody can tell me what happened to it. All I know is my videos earned it, and they took it. They took it. So I haven't taken 1 cent from them since. Not 1 cent. I've just let it sit. And I'll get 100,000 views on my major encounter video, and I think according to YouTube I made $100 off of it, which is BS.
Yeah,
it's BS.
Yeah,
but it really sucks, man. It really sucks. They're digging themselves a hole, because they're not going to do it. They're not going to disclose this information. Well, the public is. I am. You guys are. People watching are. The people talking about their encounters are. And so, when it comes out and there's too much information out there to be shot down by anybody or ignored by anybody, then there's going to be the people in authority are going to have some questions asked to them, and they're going to be required to give some answers that they're not going to be able to provide, that doesn't dig them a real deep hole. So they need to think twice about what's up.
Right. That's exactly the reason the Colorado Forest Beings left YouTube platform.
Yep.
He's got, 80,000 freaking subscribers, and his
does he have that many?
What's that?
Does he is actually showing that he has that many subscribers?
I don't know how much he has now. He doesn't use YouTube anymore, but because of the shadow banning and his videos not getting out and stuff like that, he went to a place called Library or something, which is like a new platform.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing as YouTube, but like, I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet. But
I'm sure that Trump signed a thing about that, because they were doing that to him about what was that stupid thing he always used? What's that? Yeah. Well, they kept censoring his stuff. He goes, well, when you make a phone call, they don't censor anything. So he made correct me if I'm wrong, signed a thing saying that you can't not censor what happens on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or anything anymore. If they take it out, you get in trouble. Yeah.
Good for him, but here's the thing. That's great for him, but you're still going to freaking do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But there could be lawsuits over that if they do it, I guess. I don't know.
I hope they do.
Who knows?
Right. That's like this whole COPA issue, the child online protection thing that they're doing and stuff. You know what I mean? Because young kids are seeing inappropriate stuff on YouTube. Well, that's because the parents have a fussy kid and they hand them their phone. Here, play with this. And it doesn't have any, child, parental locks on it for that child. So now if you don't label your videos individually or label the channel appropriate for children or not appropriate for children, you're subject to fines of up to $43,000. That's because they get fined $43,000.
Right.
So,
wow. I heard about that. I forgot about it though. I haven't done any kind of changes on my videos. Come get 43 grand for me. You're not going to get $40 for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You know
I
what
just
I
saw
mean?
a comment from viewer Matt Niven. What's up, Matt? We've talked a couple of times, but glad to see you watching. He just said they have their own rules, and that's exactly right. They have their own rules, and you know, there's two sides to this world. There's the public side, and then there's the, you know, behind closed door stuff. And the behind closed door stuff, it seems like the powers that be are going to do whatever the F they want, and there's not much we can do about it. But, you know, I don't know. It's a scary thing. All of it's just a scary thing. So
I heard you have pictures, but you weren't able to send them.
Yeah, I definitely have. There's a lot of stuff I haven't shared. I haven't posted.
Would you be able to come on next, like again, and then maybe email Kevin the pictures?
Sure.
And then we can do this again later on. Because I want to see them. I want to check them all out, and I'm sure everybody else does too. And
right. You know, with the COVID stuff, I've been busy trying to catch up. So, you know, my intention was, you know, I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. It's very nice of you. And my intention was to have a little more to offer besides my big yapper. But,
hey, that's all we got.
I would like to, you know, introduce, you know, everybody to this gentleman that helped me with the audio, just because he deserves it, and he did a good job. Also, there's another guy out there who I'm familiar with from Instagram. And by the way, Instagram, I have a Sasquatch Omega account there, and I've been posting a lot of photos. Not all of them are mine, but there's some really cool photos, and maybe I'll bring all of those, because I guarantee you every single one of them people are gonna love. So I won't plug my Instagram account right now. I'll you know, tune in next time you guys do this next week, and I'll bring them all. You guys, trust me, you guys will love them.
All right.
There's a guy named and I'll get his name right too in case he's watching. His name's Cameron Kesser, I want to say, from Instagram, and he's an artist. And he actually did a caricature drawing of Sasquatch Omega, and he got, I guess, my likeness from one of my videos. One of the only videos that I've actually made where it's me and, you know, in there or whatever. And so it my opinion is it resembles me. You could see that, oh, when it says Sasquatch Omega, you could tell it's me. But he did a really good job with it. And he also did one of, what's his name? Matt Squatch Presents. He used to put videos out all the time. Anybody in the subject probably knows him too. Did a caricature of him. And again, it does, you know, it resembles him definitely, but it's in a certain style of animation. But I'm going to plug him too, because he made one of me and I thought it was awesome. So yeah, I'll show you guys some stuff next time, and I'll be a little more prepared. Hopefully I won't be as crazy busy, and I'll have, you know, the you know, Wi-Fi thing set up and in better position to do this. So
well, you pulled it off for today.
Barely. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Oh, no worries.
No
worries. We understand with everything going on with the whole COVID thing and the protests and riots and all this other stuff going on. I mean, everybody's, you know, playing catch up. You know, such as myself, you know, I'm finally going to have some work this week, you know, good. And, you know, I mean, we're all in the same boat. You know what I mean? So we've all got buckets, you know, trying to get the water out of the boat right now. So,
if you have anything to post, you can go to Bigfoot Research Evidence Podcast, not podcast, but group. The same name as this, but group, and you can go on there and you can post all you want.
Post pictures and stuff on our Facebook group, and
cool.
You know, so, and then we will be I'm gonna be getting some money under my belt, and I'm gonna be making my way out to you.
Money's good.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go have fun.
I got some stuff to show you. Man, I have some stuff to show you. There's some crazy stuff around the area in Southern California that I really had no idea. But I'll show you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's there.
It is. You know what I mean? It's like you think of Southern California, it's all concrete and all, you know, city and stuff like that, and there's no woods or anything like that. Oh no, it's not like that. You know, You know, there's a mountain range that goes all the way down to California into Mexico.
Very close.
So,
Yep.
Yeah,
you know,
like even Ackley, that's in Crestline, which is, you know, I'm in Orange County. So from Orange County, it's an hour drive, you know, roughly an hour drive, maybe a little bit less. And she had her major encounter there. I did an investigation there. That's some video I got to post. And we ran into some things there, coincidentally. Go figure. Yep. I figured out a lot of stuff about that place, about the Sasquatch that she had the encounter with her daughter. That thing, boys and girls of the audience, was massive. And I mean like 1,000 pounds, 10-foot tall, massive. Big.
Right.
And I could tell because of the tree that was in. You know, you see it on video, it doesn't impact you, but being there, this thing was 4 feet in diameter.
Yep.
Right. Where this thing was standing, it just puts it all in perspective. And you look at it, you look at the video, you're looking at this, and you're like, oh my God, this thing was a freaking monster.
You don't realize that the ground goes very
you can't see that. Yeah.
5 feet down, 5 to 6 feet down, it drops.
I actually had a video and stuff where I was growled at in the area I'm at now, and it had run back about 60 feet and stood up. And just recently, I think last week, I went up the backside of it, and it did the same thing, because like this, and then drops, and where it was standing would have put it at about 8 feet tall.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the bushes I was in, I mean, were literally up to my stomach.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I that's when I got, oh wow, that it was a lot bigger than I thought it was. You know what I mean? And I done a growl impression of what I heard. I'm looking at my phone screen, so everything's a lot smaller, and I didn't see it at the time until afterwards. But I do the growl impression, and it ducks down below the bush and slowly comes back up. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I've had people say, "Oh, the camera moved," and it's like the camera did move, but not enough to justify that much movement in that. You know what I mean? It ducked below the bushes. You know.
Yeah.
Well, people are real quick to point out parallax, or you know, what's the other thing? Come on, when you see faces and things.
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia. But you know, you be in tune as to really what that is, you know. And there's a lot of stuff out there where that is a factor, but it doesn't explain all of it. Not by a long shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brontini Bigfoot found a very obvious. I think I sent it to you when we talked.
No way,
that's a picture of one peeking out of the bushes at me.
Yeah,
it is not pareidolia. That absolutely is. You can see the nose, you can see the lips. You know, yeah. I mean, that is not pareidolia. And there's been a couple of times recently to where I'm videoing, and the face recognition thing. I'm looking at a dark spot in these bushes, and my face recognition starts going off. I'm going, well, that's odd. So I start moving it, and it's staying in that spot. And I'm going, and I start looking over, going,
isn't that crazy?
What is going on? And all of a sudden, it's just gone. Like it had just moved further back into the shadows.
Yeah,
you know.
And the thing, like these things out there, they have the cunning of any predator that we're aware of on this planet, but they have above and beyond that, they have a supreme intelligence, a human level intelligence that's applicable to the forest, to their environment, and they have an absolute command of their environment, a situational awareness that I can't even describe in words, and a sense of hearing, a sense of smell, supreme hearing and sight, to where they know we're coming so far before we're even there. It's not even funny. There's always these, you know, encounters that happen where, you know, they didn't, and there's a lot of factors that contribute into that, but that's definitely not the norm. People always complain, you know, in some of my videos, and I think everybody's videos, like, you're being too goddamn loud and this and that. It's like, listen, buddy, I could go out there in a ninja outfit, you know, tiptoeing through, have all the scent blockers and this and that. I'm not going to sneak up on the freaking Sasquatch. I'm not going to. I can't. and there's a
No,
reason for it. There's a
they
reason
can.
they're not detected. There's a reason they're out there thriving, and it's trust me, there's nothing I can do to change that by tiptoeing out there. They know we're coming. You may as well make yourself interesting by making a bunch of normal stupid noises.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I don't even try and freaking hide it. It's like I walk up and I'm like, hey people, I'm back. I brought apples. You know what I mean? I let them know that I know they're there and I'm back, and I know that I'm back, and I mean, it's I've been putting out apples and stuff lately, and I tried peanut butter and different colored rocks and seashells and stuff, and well, they seem to be a bit picky. You know what I mean? They take the apples, but I put grapes out, and those are still hanging there rotting.
Right.
I put oranges out. I put an orange out one time, and the orange disappeared, so I brought oranges the next time, and I put those out, but then one was knocked off, and one was like thrown in the bush.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, they don't want no interest in the seashells or the peanut butter, but I had put out these little glass rocks, and 2 of those were gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. They have interest. They have an interest in certain things, and certain things they don't.
Yeah.
So,
they like the sardines where I'm at.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So, but he's got a little river too near him. He's got a river and a lake near him, so they're probably used to eating seafood. You know what I mean? Or fish. So
I find them on the sandbar, totally picked clean and just the skeleton, and that's where they go. They're right there.
Wow. And
where I was at, I'm in San Diego County, so I mean, when I tell somebody there's Bigfoots in San Diego County, they're thinking downtown. They like you said, like a cartoon or something. But
right.
I even have one that lay down on the vegetation, and I have an before and after picture, and I only went up halfway of that body shape.
Yeah,
it's insane, and that's
down there
20 feet from where I found the fish.
Listen, man, if you can get any of these guys to talk to you, it would be a gold mine. But when you see the Border Patrol guys at Starbucks or whatever, hit them up. Like I tried talking to some down here. I was in San Clemente because that's basically where I live. And I talked to a couple of those guys, talked to him about the zoomies, talked to him about Rocky Elmore, who is, he's well known in this, in the Sasquatch field as a Border Patrol agent down in San Diego County, and, of the stuff that happens down there. And there's been Border Patrol agents watching a group of other Border Patrol agents with trainees from, I don't know, 2,000 meters.
That's the one with the Bigfoot right next to him, tracking him, huh?
Right. They were watching. They said there's a giant freaking monster.
It was following him.
Yeah. Freaked him out, man. But that stuff's real.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then the immigrants took off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went. Yeah. Because they were like, we're not staying here.
This is for the public. I need to point this out. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on. And here's what it is. Okay, I'm getting reports from investigators and researchers all across the country. Also, I'm finding this out, independently posted just by news agencies. They seem to be shutting down, I want to say all, but a lot of the trails that go into the national parks, a lot of the wilderness preserves, shutting down the fire roads all over the country for some reason. I don't know why. I've seen it here too. They've shut down all kinds of stuff. I don't know when the last time you've been up there. But for everybody watching, look into it and see what's going on in your area. They seem to be doing it. They seem to have been doing it all around the same time frame, all across the country. And I don't know why. I have no clue why. I think Sasquatch immediately because that nothing else makes sense to me. But that's going on. I don't know what that means but for everybody watching, check in your area and see if that's going on. And if it is, let us know. Post in the comments or whatever. I'd be curious to find out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like my area. I've been going up to this area since I was 14 years old, riding my mountain bike up there. I've got thousands of hours logged in on a mountain bike up there. And this is all before I had the Bigfoot bug, and, it never even crossed my mind and stuff until, one day I was sitting here and I was just like, okay, I need to get out into nature. I'm just twitching, you know what I mean? I'm going through like nature withdrawals. And I packed up my stuff and I went up there just to go hiking around, just to get out of the city and, clear my head and do whatever.
Right.
And started finding all this weird stuff. And I'm going, well, that is kind of reminiscent of Sasquatch. So let me come back up here and go a little further in. And that's where I got growled at. That's where Bronzini Bigfoot found the screenshot, and I got the one ducking, and I'm going, are you freaking kidding me? These things are coming right up to the edge of the bush line and just watching people back and forth all day long. And there's houses down in the canyon.
Yep.
They're in our backyards.
But they do.
And it's weird because when I was going up there, it was just called blank mountains.
Right.
Now it's blank mountains conservancy zone, wildlife conservancy zone.
Yeah. What are you conserving all of a sudden?
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? I mean, you get, your typical stuff. Yeah. I mean, we've got mountain lions up there. We've got coyotes. I mean, I've never seen a fox up there. I highly doubt that there are. There could be foxes, but there's deer up there. I've seen deer. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you conserving?
What's pressing right now? What's going on now? And there's two things I want to point out. So just after I mentioned that they're closing down stuff all over, North America, I think it was Max Powers just chimed in, said he's in New England. It's happening there. So confirmation. He's saying it again. And Arizona, Squatchaholic says in Arizona too. See, it's happening everywhere. I know that it is. And as far as the Sasquatch and how they're set up, man, I see this. I saw this in Utah for the first time. And I posted a video called Suburban Sasquatch. And literally there was some tract homes, normal suburbia. You have homes on one side of the street, homes on the other side. Well, in this particular area, there was homes on one side and a thicket on the other side. And this thicket happened to have meticulously constructed blinds all along it, right at the edge of the thicket, where I know these things are coming up and watching. So I call them nature's voyeurs, and that's what they do. These things watch wherever they are. They sit and they watch. And I'll give somebody a little trick here. Any wilderness preserve you go to, any trailhead, you're getting ready to do a hike and you're in the woods, go take a walk around that parking lot. Okay. Even off, as far away as up to the first hill or whatever, but check out the shrubs around there, check out the thickets around there. And if there's Sasquatch around, I'll put on the record right now, I guarantee you will find blinds around the parking lot at the trailheads. Because the Sasquatch, if they're around, they will go there and they will watch you. They're compelled to do it. They do it without question. Yeah. Everywhere I've looked, this has been the case. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and they do the same thing with voice recorders. They do like they do with mine. They're doing it with who is it? Who else has had a voice recorder?
Ken
King. Yeah. And they're obsessed with that thing, and they will go there.
They're not scared of that for some reason.
Every day. Well, they'll go to it. They're obsessed with it.
Christopher Noel, who you guys probably know from Impossible Visits. Yeah. I talked to him as well. He's a really great guy, by the way, but he's pressing everybody and has been for a long time to, anybody out there, go ahead and try and video, but focus on the audio. For some reason, they don't seem to care about the audio.
Nope.
And anybody that's put stuff out in Sasquatch areas, they've caught stuff. And I know Christopher does it regularly. So try audio. There's also a guy out in, where is it? It's the Wisconsin area, the area they call it a certain thing specifically. I want to give him a plug just because he approaches the subject in a very scientific way. So I would say he's along the lines of a researcher, the way he seeks out, gathers, and presents the evidence. But he's rolling to audio recording. He's presented some compelling stuff all on audio. But
does he do parabolic?
They don't care.
Do they do parabolic? Is he using parabolic or just a voice recorder?
No, but he'll go to an area and he'll triangulate where stuff is coming from and verify stuff. So he'll go into an area and he'll put 3 voice recorders, to say rule out that a noise is coming from the road, because there's a road and then wilderness, right? So he'll put a recorder on the road and then go out into the wilderness 1,000 meters, or we'll say 100 yards, put another one, then 500 yards, put another one,
Very
and then
smart.
maybe go north or south or whatever a few hundred yards and put another one.
Yep.
And see if they all catch the same thing,
Yeah.
and then try to triangulate where it is and what it is.
Great
right?
idea.
So if you're hearing a sound and based on the recorders, it's coming from 300 meters inside a dense forest, clearly an automobile didn't do it.
Right.
Right. So it's helping to present the stuff,
Yeah.
you know, in a certain way, scientific way, compelling way. And
it's a great way to rule out a lot of different things without having to sit like we've done, sit in the woods with the recorder on and rule out certain noises.
Sure.
Yeah.
The thing too, for all the investigators and researchers out there, are people that are getting into it now or may get in the future. I have a motto, and try to set yourself up for this the best you can. But it's the acronym is ABF. And when you're going in these areas, always be filming.
Mm-hmm.
Always be filming. Because I'm telling you, when you have it off, that's when the shit's going to go. Right? When you have it on, things tend to change. Not always, because I've got a lot of stuff filming, but, you know.
Yeah, I'll validate that and stuff, and that's why I kind of stopped. I changed the way I kind of do stuff. Is I was literally, when I got growled at up in my new area, I was literally reaching because I carry a little clip on my cross strap on my backpack. It's kind of like almost like a body cam kind of thing. But I just put it there, you know, because I was literally reaching for it, had my hand on it as this thing growled at me from the right, and I was just starting to take it out to start filming, and I missed it by that much. Sure. So now, before I even go in there, I get it out, I get it all going, and I go in rolling. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I've been growled at several times, and the power, and I mean, you feel it in your stomach.
You can't describe it. You cannot articulate.
You feel your lungs vibrate. You know what I mean? And it's like it almost takes your breath away. You know what I mean?
It does.
It vibrates your lungs, and it's like it's moving the air out of your lungs at the same time. And I would really wish I don't know.
It's the thing. Like who's the guy? I can't remember his name. Scott Carpenter. Right, he's out in Tennessee. He started doing a while ago. Started doing the back trail camera. So there's
back trail cam
behind him, and he's caught all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
Like I say, they're always watching you. They'll peek out at you, and that you're going this way. They know you're going that way. They'll come and peek out at you, and he's caught him a dozen times or more doing that. So that's
and they're literally feet from the edge of the road. Feet. I mean, we're talking 3-4
feet. Him and you didn't see them. I can't tell you how many times that I know I did that and didn't know till later. Oh my God, man, it's terrifying. I don't care how many times I go out in the woods, man. I'm not afraid to tell people that it scares the shit out of me. It's frightening. It's for a damn good reason. It's frightening, and I don't care if I had a 50 caliber, semi-automatic, whatever, right? I'm sporting, 2 Desert Eagles ready to go.
Right.
I'm still not going to be comfortable. I'm still not, because these things can be right there, there.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like they're going to get away with it, they won't be there. But if they feel like you will walk right by them, you will not know a damn thing. You might smell something. Mm-hmm. You don't know they're there. Like look what's come out about the hair, right? Look what we know about their hair now. What's mixed in with their hair is clear hair with no medulla that take on the appearance of the environment where they are. Right?
Yeah.
And so that explains a lot of the strange looking photos where it looks like they're doing the predator thing. And listen, that might be a thing. It might be a thing. With all the paranormal stuff I said, that's something's going on.
That could be one of the others, as Mark puts it.
It could be one of the others.
You know what I mean?
But their hair makes it very conducive for them to hide, to do what they do, which is sit there, be nature's voyeurs in their little blinds across the street in a neighborhood, and be comfortable to sit there and know they're not going to be seen, because they've had people walk by them probably hundreds of times and haven't seen them. So they know, and they're watching their friends do it because they watch. And so that's there's a lot going on here.
They're watching us at the same time as we're watching them, or trying to watch them.
But they're watching us going, look at these idiots. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
It's like
stealth. It's all day long, man. It's stealth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They know what they're doing.
And like you said, the suburban, your whole suburban Sasquatch thing. We had LA Swamp Ape on here not too long ago, and it's the same thing. He's in Louisiana,
right?
And he's in like the suburban spot stuff, but there's like a canal down the back of the houses, and it's probably 8 to 9 feet deep, and it's probably 15 to 20 feet wide, but there's spaces in between the housing. You know what I mean? Of like almost like a little alleyway. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And these things are coming down that canal, coming up in the alley and peeking over his fence. They've got a freaking trail trampled so deep it's in the dirt now. They know that he has dogs, and they steal other dogs' bones from yards and throw them over the fence so that when they look over, the dogs don't bark.
Yep, that's right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can actually see the bone being thrown to him.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the dog looks at it and looks up and then just lays down and starts chewing on the bone. Right. You know what I mean? They're smart.
They're very smart.
They're problem solvers. I mean, I don't know. I heard someone say this. Just acknowledging the existence of them and going out into the woods and looking for them is opening a door for them to follow you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To follow you home or whatever they do. You know what I mean? And I have a theory on how they do that. I mean, everybody has fingerprints. Everybody's fingerprints are different. There's not one as the same. Well, everybody's vibration and everybody's energy is also the same way. So I've kind of dubbed it myself, energy tagging. They pick up on your energy because it's all different. And then once they get that energy signal, they can track it wherever you are.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Here's something that's I believe true. And everybody knows of Tesla, the original Tesla. Well, he said at one point that if you want to understand the secrets of this universe, you need to start looking at everything by means of its vibration and how those vibrations interact with other vibrations. That's the secret to the universe. And I believe that's correct. Absolutely correct. I couldn't articulate anything more than that. I do remember that quote, and it makes sense. And that runs along lines of what you're talking about. But these things, I can't tell you how many people I talk to, and this is in Utah, this is in Idaho, this is in western part of Colorado, this is in Oregon. How many people I talk to that back up to thickets, wilderness preserves, spots that I identified as potential Sasquatch activity. And how many people I talk to that don't believe in Sasquatch, that would talk about these, this is, I get this a lot. A bunch of tall black guys in hoodies out messing with my fence at night. These two black homeless guys used to come out of the forest all the time and steal my vegetables. What would they take? Just like a handful of tomatoes and pull up a few carrots. Okay. They describe that all the time. So people are seeing this stuff happen, and they don't have any context to put it in, right? So they're looking at something that's dark, something that has kind of a pointed head, something that's tall, and that's what people are coming up with, is African-American basketball player type in hoodies. I've heard it over and over again, but that's what's going on. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you put a hoodie on and you get that little cone-shaped thing going on, just because of the shape of the hood. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean?
In Utah, people would trip out. Like I figured out in Utah, like these little canyons that come out, every single canyon that me and Rio went to look at, or I did afterwards, after me and him, stopped going out together, there's evidence of these Sasquatch coming out of those canyons, using the thickets through developed areas to come out and all the way up to the back end of corn farms, vegetable gardens, fish hatcheries, which is where I had a major encounter. They're comfortable doing this, and you will find blinds and structures all the way out in civilization, west in the civilization. You track it all the way back into the canyons, and these things are coming out, dozens and dozens and dozens of them. It's crazy, but they do this. I know they do this everywhere. And, people need to, there's a lot going on right under people's noses, and they have no idea. Just like all the people I said that, for some reason have a bunch of homeless black basketball players stealing their vegetables, messing with their friends at night. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to anybody out there,
No offense to anybody at all, but that's
right.
That was just a report.
They're thinking of, because the appearance is dark, so they assume, the skin is dark, so they're thinking it's African American, and then also the height, right? This is a compliment, right?
Right.
There's not a bunch of white basketball players running around besides Larry Bird, but so that's what they're thinking. There's a bunch of tall African American homeless people or whatever, vagabonds with hoodies on that are doing just strange things that nobody would do, like messing with a fence or stealing a couple carrots, and that's happening. That's going on all over the place. But and this stuff is real. There's a lot more to it than I think we all know. It's being covered up. There's a lot of components to this, and I just appreciate everybody that's watching this, giving it the attention that it deserves, spreading that information. Yep. And what you all out there are doing, what you two are doing here that are hosting me, it's important, and it's necessary, and I'm thankful for it, for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, we started this whole podcast, with the idea that there is no bad evidence out there. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Everybody has an odd or undescribable situation that they've been in, or have heard these noises, or have seen something, such as a tall, dark-skinned basketball player with a hoodie on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Who comes in and steals my carrots and a couple potatoes, and that's it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's odd. I mean, there is no bad evidence, and we want to hear it. We want to get it out there, because I've had very odd stuff happen to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, even down to memory loss, and went back in the section of memory I actually happened to lose was a trail that happened to get barricaded with giant logs. I mean, that you would need heavy equipment to move.
Right.
And there's no evidence of any heavy equipment. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
I mean, and this is just west of Claudia Ackley's area.
Right.
And unfortunately, there were 2 bodies found dead center of where I used to go. It just got swept under the rug. The last thing I heard was special investigators have been assigned to the case, and that was it. I don't know what these special investigators are. I have an idea, but
I'll have to talk about that afterwards. I'm curious, because I'm going into the.
Yeah, I got a bunch of videos on it and stuff on my channel too. But it's just odd. I mean, there's 2 bodies found in such and such a place, and my wife called me at work. She's all, yeah, they just found 2 bodies dead center of where you go Bigfooting.
Really?
What? Yeah, I'll send you the link and stuff. And she sent me the link to the website it was on, and I'm going, oh my God. I mean, this is where I've been paralleled, I've been followed, I've been herded, I've been escorted, I've been growled at, I've had a little rock thrown at me, and I threw a rock back, and then a much bigger rock came flying out, a little bit closer. I did things differently than most people. I know that they like the high ground, so I would deliberately walk down into the canyons, and I could hear them. They would leapfrog. One's on one ridge and one's on the other. They would leapfrog. I'd hear it thump, 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 and then the other one would go thump, 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 and they would leapfrog each other on the ridges as I'm walking down the canyon. You know what I mean?
I'll tell for everybody watching. Next time on the next show, I'll give you guys some secrets to finding these things that that'll trip you out, and it'll trip you out about how easy it is in some instances, and it'll trip you out on how it'll be a disclosure to their intelligence too, you know, to elaborate even more on what you just said. But I'll tell you guys this next time, and when you know when I come on, I'll bring all the photos so you guys can see all these photos that, you know, they're fantastic. A couple of them maybe you guys have seen before, but I guarantee most of them you haven't, and they're all really, really good photos. So I'll be excited to share those. But I'll remember to talk about that.
You still have stuff up on your channel now that people can go check
everything
out?
posted on my channel. You know, just for everybody, I've told people this privately, you know, 20 times, you know, because I get emails all the time and people asking, when you still doing this? You still posting stuff? The answer is yes. I have stuff that I'm going to post. I've you know, have several videos that I've been just working on, kind of half-assed working on. I am going to post again. I am. Just be patient with me. But step number one is go and make sure, if you've already subscribed to me, make sure you're still subscribed. Chances are you're not, whether you've done it or not, because I guarantee YouTube's unsubscribing people. But go subscribe to me. I promise I will have something up soon. Just trying to get squared away with, you know, this crazy world we live in and catching up, and you know, we all got to make money. So but yeah, I still have it. My channel's up. I'll be posting stuff again, so don't give up on me just yet. But I'll bring those photos next time. I'll talk to you guys about a couple of things I touched on today, what I just mentioned, and you know, we'll have some fun next week for sure. Yeah.
So everybody go check out Sasquatch Omega. Go see what he's got on his channel already. If you're not subscribed already, go subscribe to him. Or if you are subscribed, check your subscription. You know, and you know, I mean, we're all in this together. You know, we all need to come together as one big giant team to figure this out.
That's right.
You know, well, Dave, I really appreciate you coming on, and you know, going crazy trying to find a spot with good signal. Looks like you found an excellent area to do this.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that.
And no we'll definitely get you scheduled for another date so we can get a little deeper into your experiences.
Yeah, just email him and make sure you do it to him, because we don't want to put you too far behind.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I will, and I'll, for everybody watching, you know, tell a friend and come back next. We're gonna do it next week, maybe. But
you know, I'll have to text you. We've got a couple of dates lined up already with some other people.
Okay, gotcha.
So I will send you the next air date available, and if that works for you, we'll go for it.
It'll work for me. So you guys, everybody watching, keep an eye out, and I'll bring some cool photos. I'll bring some great evidence for you guys to look at, and I really appreciate you guys having me on, and it means the world. And for everybody watching, I really appreciate it. All of you guys, seriously. It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate you.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
So everybody, with that being said, I know we ran over our hour, you know, but I think we had an hour here with
it was worth it, man.
Omega.
Yeah.
So we're absolutely worth it. Go check him out. Go check out his stuff. Give him the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. It's incredible stuff. He's had incredible encounters. He's met a lot of big name people. He's spent time with them, and he's learned a lot of stuff, and he's got a lot of great things to tell us in the future.
And also, didn't tell you guys, I am in the Sasquatch world, I am the one and only actual Sasquatch expert out there.
The one and only.
Thank you guys so much. All right. I'll see you guys next time.
Everybody. Again, be safe out there.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Later.
All right.
Good evening.
That
was cool. Yeah. I can't wait. I told you. I talked to him on the phone.
Yeah.
And we just absolutely. I mean, just a lot of the stuff we have to say is a lot of about his area, my area are very similar and stuff. So we're all
pretty close together.
Yeah, yeah. He's like I said, he's like an hour drive away from me. So as soon as I get some work under my belt and get some funds, I'm out. I'm going to see Dave. I'm going to go spend some time with him, go out squatching with him, and we've been discussing that. So
yeah, I think this week, what was it? I think it's gonna be. We're setting it up tomorrow. I'm gonna rent a cabin up there where I'm going.
okay,
Because my sister wants a cabin up there, so we're gonna rent a cabin, go up there, set it up tomorrow because they're closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then gonna go there Thursday.
okay.
She'll
So you go what Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
just gonna do Thursday because she wants to see how it's like up there first.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know,
you're
if she
doing that.
tripped out too much about what's going on out there, she wants to get out of there.
Yeah. Okay.
I told her just leave me there. I don't care.
Sweet. You going up? You're just going up in your area?
Yeah, it's only about a mile from where I go bigfooting.
Oh, okay.
So, but she wants to go out, but she don't want to stay in the tent, so we're just gonna go probably
For
cabin.
obvious reasons. Yeah, I mean,
I
obviously,
told her
you're very safe in a tent. You can't be any safer in a
yeah,
tent.
you can't get hurt in there.
You know? I mean, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, well, make sure you video it.
Yeah, I'm gonna video everything.
Make sure you post it.
She might
on
not like it, but I do not care. No.
Yeah.
So not in the shower. No, I'm just joking.
That's a little creepy. We don't need to go that
is creepy.
far. Yeah, don't need to go that far.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But yeah, keep us posted. Let us know how it goes. And with that being said, we'll see you all next Sunday.
Yeah. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Everybody stay safe out there.
Yep.
And hold on, let me get my paper.
Oh yeah, he's gonna tell us what's going on next week. See those footprints back there? You see those footprints back there on the fence? He casted all those.
Next
and then
week,
see his sign back there says, "Please do not feed this."
yeah.
He took out "not" because he started feeding the bear.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Much, I mean, for years of doing this, I said, I don't promote feeding them because then they become reliant on it and stuff like that. They could get aggressive and stuff.
You're all, forget it.
No, feed them. They're cool.
Yeah, it's good to feed them now.
Yeah, just feed them. They're cool. They're cool. Well, hopefully, if he's watching still, next week, Max Powers.
Oh, yeah. He should be in here. I think he's still here.
Yeah, I hope he's still in here. So, Max,
go set that up.
if you're still in here and you're still watching or listening, next Sunday is your day. So, get ready, buddy. And again, if anybody wants to come on the show, talk about their experiences or evidence or whatever, email me. My email is down at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
socalforestninjas@hotmail.com. I'll get back to you within 24 hours. We'll get you scheduled and we'll go from there. So yeah.
I do. It's easy. Yep. And then you don't have to show your face either if you don't want.
Max is still in here. All right, Max. Time to shine this Sunday, buddy.
All right.
Let's go. Max is cool. Max is really cool, man. He usually walks around the woods barefoot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, he's got that whole overlander tent thing and stuff on top of his rig. I mean, he's out there all the time.
That's cool right there.
Different places all the time. So it's really cool. He's seen some cool stuff. He's found some cool stuff. So
now you guys got to come back now. Everybody's got to come back.
Yeah. Yep. So, anybody interested in coming on the show, email me. So
spread the word, share this video if you can, you guys, so that we can try to get more people in here.
Right. So let's get the word out and let's all work together and figure some stuff out together as a team instead of butting heads and calling everybody, liars or whatever they want to do. Not us, but
Yeah.
other people out there, out in the community. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Max, I will. I'll email you Lewis's email address for that picture.
Yes. Send me pictures.
To him so that we can share it on the show.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, everybody. My stomach's growling. I'm hungry. That peach pie is looking really good. My wife is holding it up the window. So, all right, everybody.
All right.
Stay safe out there and happy hunting.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
And